Hey everyone, and welcome to my tutorial where I'm going to show you how to crochet a corset tube top. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out any new videos. For this I'm using one ball of acrylic yarn, which is 50 grams. You will also need a 4.5mm crochet hook. Start by making a slip knot. Grab the yarn with your other hand and start by making chains, so you just pull the yarn through the loop. The amount of chains is going to determine how long the top will be, so I'm making 29 chains. You can adjust the number of chains, but make sure it's an uneven number. Skip the last 2 chains and now we're going to work into the 3rd stitch away from the hooks. Yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, grab the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now you make 1 chain, skip the next chain in the row of chains and make a double crochet again. So yarn over, grab the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and again another chain, skip the next stitch and then make a double crochet, another chain, skip the next stitch and a double crochet. It's like the same pattern as I did in my crochet shrug video. So you just continue making a double crochet, a chain, double crochet, chain for the first row. After you've made the first row with the mesh stitch, you make 2 chains and then you turn your project around. Now you just make double crochets into every stitch. So also into the chains that we made. It's a little bit harder to get through with the hook, but it's possible. And in the beginning I made 29 chains and skipped the last 2 chains, so now I always have 27 double crochets every row. Just make double crochets into every stitch until the end of the row. This is my last stitch of the row, and in the end you just make 2 chains, turn the project around, and then you just make double crochets into every stitch. For me it's 27 stitches. This is basically it. So now you just make double crochets. In the end you chain 2, turn the project around and just make as many rows as you want, without counting the mesh stitch. So starting from the 3rd row on, I have 39 rows of double crochets. And as I told you, you can choose as many rows as you want, but it has to be an uneven number and you don't count the mesh stitch with that. Because for the last row we are going to make 3 chains instead of 2. So 1 more chain, and then you turn your project around. And then you skip the first 2 stitches because the first stitch is the row of chains, and place a double crochet into the 3rd stitch. Now make another chain, skip the next stitch and place a double crochet into the following stitch. Then make another chain, skip the next stitch, another double crochet, another chain. So just do 1 row with the mesh stitch. This is my last double crochet of the row, and then you just make 1 chain and cut the yarn. Just pull the yarn through your loop on the hook and we are done for this row. Next thing we have to do is to make an even seam for the sides of our top, because it's a little bit bumpy, I would say, on the sides, and we have to make a straight row. To start on the one side, you insert your hook into the last stitch where you placed your last double crochet and connect the yarn with a chain. Now make a single crochet into the exact same stitch, so grab the yarn, pull it through, you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And now try to make a single crochet into every stitch on the side of every row. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get through the stitch on the side, but it doesn't really matter where you place the single crochet, it just has to be one in every side of the row. But I would also say in the end it doesn't really matter if it's exactly one stitch every row. It just matters that there is like an even seam at the end of our project. Almost done with my row of single crochets, and this is the last single crochet. You just make it into the last stitch of the row with the mesh stitch. Then you make one chain and cut the yarn. Pull the yarn through your loop on the hook and then do the exact same thing on the other side, so you have an even seam on both sides. We are almost done, and this is the last step. So now we are crocheting the lace to keep the corset together. For this you just make a slip knot and then you just make as many chains as you need. So you just make a long row of chains. And when I'm saying we need a long chain, a long lace, it's true because I'm making it for a size S. So I crocheted about 400 chains because you need a lot of length to make the corset fit together. And then after the 400 chains, it's time to put all the things together. So now I'm folding it in half and I'm showing you how to insert the lace. First, you put the lace through the first two openings, and then make sure both sides, so the left and right strand, have the same length. And then you put the right strand into the opening on the left side, and the left strand into the opening on the right side. Instead of grabbing now the left strand, you grab again the right strand and put it through the left side. And then again the left strand. You always start with putting the right strand into the left side. I hope this could help you. If not, maybe just look it up online or Google it, how to make the corset. Yeah, that's it. We're done with this project. This is how the finished top looks on my body, and I hope you like this tutorial because you can do it in literally any size that you want. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and then I would really appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you and see you next time.